I'm Austin.
And I'm James.
And this is Today with A and J. Today we're going to be finding out who has the best queso.
Oh, yeah. And down here, anytime that you go to a Tex-Mex restaurant, queso is a must. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
And since we're in College Station, we're going to be battling out between our favorite joints for queso that are super popular. We have Torchy's Taco over here, Fuego right here, and Chewy's over here.
Oh, I'm so ready to try it. If no one has tried these places, please, if you're in College Station, these places are a must. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started and taste these queso.
First, we're going to rate the quesos from best to worst, and then we're also going to test out the chips a little, just to kind of give you an idea on those.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. So let's start.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
I say let's go with the Chewy's.
Chewy's has a happy hour here, and it's great. Where they have a queso bar that's completely free, so every college student in the world goes there.
It is typically busy, and the great thing about it is if you like ground beef inside your queso, you can get that added as well for free.
Tastes pretty good.
Oh, yeah. So something that I like about Chewy's, I'm a big fan of the thin chips because it allows me to enjoy more queso, and later on when I get my food, I can eat more food. So I like their thin chips. Not too salty.
And they're nice and crispy. And I don't really like much salt on my chips at all, personally. I know a lot of people love pouring salt on it, but I like to keep them unsalted.
Yeah.
Because usually the dish has salt already in it, and I just want to taste what the dish is supposed to taste like.
As per the queso, I mean, it's cheesy, has great flavor to it.
Good spices in it.
Yeah.
It's nice consistency. It's not too thick.
It does have a little bit of jalapeno in it, like a slight.
It has a good spice. Yeah.
All right, so moving on to Fuego queso. I'm gonna grab.
This one's great late at night.
Oh yes.
They stay open pretty late for anybody still up for no reason.
There we go. This white queso. Goodness.
I just get a little queso on it. He's obviously a scooper. That is a lot different.
Oh, yeah.
Since I've never had them side by side, it's so weird tasting, going from between them.
I feel like that one has a very cheesy flavor that just sticks in your mouth.
And then it's super spicy at the end, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of have it's kind of heating up in the back of my throat right now.
I definitely tell that the Fuego queso is hotter than the Chewy's queso. Mm-hmm. But I'm not seeing any type of vegetables or anything in there.
I just see a couple specks of
pepper.
It looks like jalapeno, which it might.
Another one.
Very likely. The chip got more of a crunch because it's a little thicker.
Oh, yes.
But it still tastes pretty good with the queso.
So over here, last but not least, we have Torchy's Taco. Their queso has a little bit more of some cilantro, cheese, a little bit more grass. Grass.
You heard it here first.
Get a good chip. Has like a cilantro taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of cilantro, but it's like so subtle that it actually adds to the dish instead of taking away from it. Anytime something has too much cilantro, it tastes soapy to me, which I know is like a trait for certain people.
Yeah.
I
think one good attribute that Torchy's has is they have guacamole inside of it. So I think that is a good contribution to this queso.
Yeah, it always includes guacamole. It's not something you add extra. The spiciness, I'd put in between these two.
Yeah. This one's not too spicy.
This one's the spiciest, which I'm still getting that spiciness, so it makes this seem spicier than it is, I think. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'd say this one's dead in the middle of these two. This not being much spice at all. This being pretty spicy, not too spicy. Mm-hmm. And this being in between those.
And as per the chips, this chip over here is definitely thicker than the other two. This reminds me of like a restaurant style chip that you buy from the grocery store. Not saying that it's not fresh made or anything, but that's what it
tastes
reminds
fresh
me of.
made. It has a good cook on it. Has a nice little char bite to it. It does remind me more of like the ones you would buy at the store.
Yes.
This chip is kind of more. It's not as crunchy. It's more like a traditional one you might find at like an actual restaurant.
Yes.
And then, of course, these are just the thinner version of the restaurant chips.
So overall, what did you think of the queso?
Okay.
Placing
Let's start with our third place. Which
Okay.
one do you think is third?
Honestly, I would have to go with Torchy's Tacos queso
That's third?
as the third. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
As not the best?
Not the best.
Okay.
What about you?
I'd actually say this queso was my third
Fuego.
compared to these. I love queso. I'll eat all of these instantly. It's
Oh,
just next to each other. I did like the flavor of these more than this one.
And something that may have affected me, like you mentioned earlier about the heat, there was probably some spice still lingering when I
Yeah, I think
went
so.
over.
I think it kind of because spice really doesn't go away until you kill it.
Yes. So, second, I would have to go with the Fuego queso. What about you?
Second.
Second. Wow. All right. Okay, and last, I mean, obviously, goes without saying, for me, the Chewy's queso was first.
First.
I am so surprised.
I like the flavor more on this one.
You like the grass?
I think it has more cheddar. I like cheddar a lot. That makes these actually tied because... No, sorry. This was first because that was your number one. That was my number two. These are tied because they're each our first and our last.
Well, something that we can all agree is that these three quesos are delicious.
Yeah, pretty good. Like I said, queso, good everywhere. Okay. What do you think about chips, though?
Chips, I would have to definitely go with Chewy's. It's thin, light, and crunchy. Something that I always like, and
I'm going to taste them again.
I don't need to.
Okay. We can talk while I'm tasting them.
No, I would say that the first on my list, like I said, was Chewy's. Second would be the Torchy's Taco chips as well, because they have crunch to it. When I eat my chips with queso, I always like that crunch. And last, I would go with the Fuego chips. If I could interchange it, I think a good combination for me would be the Torchy's Taco chips and the Chewy's queso. So what do you think?
Let me go back to this one.
I think you're just hungry.
No, I'm not.
Normally, I'm the hungry one.
Okay. I think this is the best one. That'd be the second and that'd be the third.
Third. Why did you choose that way?
I don't like the crunch on this one.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's a little bit harder of a crunch.
I think what it is that the oil isn't as hot to cook those. So it kind of makes the chip more dense.
I would have to agree with you.
But this is thin enough that that's not going to be a problem. And those ones are cooked at a pretty high temp. They might even be baked, but they're pretty crunchy.
Oh, yes. So, like we've been saying through the video, guys, if you have not tried Chewy's, Torchy's, or Fuego in College Station, please go try their queso. It is thebomb.com. All right, so that concludes our episode. Thank you so much for watching.
Y'all have a great day, and always be your best.